I'm back, baby! That's right, guys. I'm finally back on YouTube. I missed all of you. Did you miss me? No? Oh, okay! Well, whether or not you missed me, we're gonna look at another game today. So, who remembers George of the Jungle? A couple, yeah. You probably might have heard the name. Like, George of the Jungle, watch out for that tree! That was terrible, I'm sorry. Well, some of you may not have known he actually had his own cartoon in 2007. And it flopped so horribly that after one season it was gone and never seen again. Yeah, and guess what? That show got a game we're gonna look at today. Oh, and also one more thing. From here on in, I will be referring to myself in the third person. So, let's go with Hobo on a journey to look at George of the Jungle and the Search for the Secret. Developed by Papaya and published by Crave, George of the Jungle and the Search for the Secret rides the heels of that terrible George of the Jungle TV show. Is it gonna suck? Probably, but let's go anyway. Well, now that the developer and publisher are taken care of, you guys know what that means. It's time to hobo up! The story for this game is pretty simple in scope. George of the Jungle must retrieve pages for a notebook as his friends Magnolia and Ursula are sick. They're scattered all over the place in the jungle, swamp, and ruins, and George's gotta find them all. So yeah, the story is not new or groundbreaking, but you know what? It works. And like Hobo said, it's a pretty crappy cartoon, so you can't expect too much from the game. Anyway, on to the gameplay. The gameplay for George of the Jungle and the Search for the Secret is a side-scrolling platformer where George must get to the end of the level while jumping over hazards, fighting enemies, swinging on vines, etc. And there's several items along the way to help him out. There's coins he can collect for every 50 getting an extra life, voodoo dolls which give him a 1-up, and bananas which restore his health. Also hidden in several levels are golden pineapples. When 3 are collected, a minigame is unlocked. There's usually 1 in the first level and 2 in the second level of each world, and there's none in the third because those are just a certain kind of level which we'll get to in a sec. Hobo will concede that George has a varied moveset. He can punch 3 times, he can roll, which allows him to get under objects, he can charge, which allows him to break walls and dash through enemies, he can also ground pound, which allows him to break floors and attack enemies from above. At the end of each stage, George will need to fight a boss. The bosses aren't anything that's going to challenge you too much, especially once you figure out their pattern. That doesn't mean they're not going to get in some cheap shots, and that's going to really piss you off when it does. It's even worse when the game decides to glitch out and you have to hope and pray can hit the last few hits before they kill you. It's really irritating. Now every third stage is a Shep run, where George hops upon Shep's back and tries to make it to the end as fast as he can while avoiding pits and other hazards. And Hobo never got below first place in these, he's not even sure if you can or what would determine it. But still, these stages are not broken, they can be frustrating at first, but once you figure out how, they're not very hard. Sadly, this is where the complaining starts. The game really plods along, it's really slow. If you're looking for a high-paced action-adventure game, you're not going to find it here, so you better move on. Also, in regards to jumping, it's extremely floaty, yet really stiff at the same time. So, once you get used to it, it's fine, but until you do, get ready for some cheap deaths, especially on rotating platforms that throw you in the water if you land on them wrong. And then there's the combat. The combat in this game is extremely cheap, because sometimes when the enemy gets the first strike, you're gonna die because you get caught in a loop of punches. It's not so bad when you get the first strike, but if you don't, you either gotta run away, try and fight back, or get killed by an enemy just because they got the first shot. Oh, and did Hobo mention glitches? Because boy are there glitches. Hobo lost count how many times he died because the game decided to glitch out. Let's have a quick count. That just goes to show the game is very rushed, and Hobo cannot believe they would rush it out like that. Then again, it is a licensed game, so Hobo probably shouldn't be surprised. At the same time though, that doesn't really stop being infuriating. Now granted, that isn't all the glitches, Hobo found plenty more, trust him, but those are all he was willing to show you at the time because those were what he found during his capture session. Anyway, George of the Jungle Search the Secret so far provided a decent experience which is marred by glitches. But how does it look and sound? Let's find out. If there's one area of the game that excels, it's the presentation. Hobo was very impressed with the presentation. For one thing, the music is great. It's very swanky and very lively. Nothing Hobo's going to remember the game for, but it works. It's great background noise. And then there's the stuff happening in the background which made Hobo laugh. Sadly, that means this game is more fun to watch someone play than it is to actually play. Whoops. So, that was George of the Jungle in the Search for the Secret. Hobo wasn't very sure about that one, but we should probably rate it anyway. Here's the rating. How does the game play? Not well, Hobo is afraid, because it's very slow, the enemies are cheap, and the game is glitchy. Hobo didn't have a very good time this time around. And how does it look and sound? Sadly, the presentation of the game is way, way better than the gameplay. But sadly, if that's the case, the game shouldn't be very good. The game is junk. And with that ends another episode of Gem or Junk, and I can finally stop talking like this and just go back to first person. So thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I would love it if you could support me on Patreon. That would be equally appreciated. Thank you guys so much, I love you all, I'll see you next time. Hobo, out!